we are with a deck tech for matches 4 through 6 with Incinerator Burn in the Manatraders series here in the month of July. As a friendly reminder, if you like lightning bolt based content, especially here in the modern format, please consider subscribing to the channel, as we aim to be the most informative lightning bolt channel on modern on YouTube, with a little bit of Pioneer and Legacy thrown in. So this is a little bit different than the variant we've been playing the first couple of matches of this Manatraders series. We upped the Graveyard Hate in the sideboard, added a third Clothis, added a second Surgical Extraction, went down on Path to Exile, and removed the 2 core Firewalkers. It's my belief that after that demonstration in the Prowess matchup with Clothis, that might be like one of the best cards in the Burn / Prowess mirrors. Also, Clothis is good tech against Snow in these slower kind of grindy games. It's pretty decent against Jund if you can land it. So a lot of interesting things going on. Most of that innovation of Clothis is by Poseidon from the Burn Discord. And then Surgical Extraction is kind of an answer to not playing Rest in Peace against Dredge, which still might be incorrect. It might be correct to have both Rest in Peace and Clothis, but Surgical allows you to potentially take out Uros out of the banned Snow deck, have a turn 1 play against the Dredge decks, while also leaving the rest of the sideboard enough to function. Beyond that, we are still on the 3 Seal of Fire, 3 Chandra's Incinerator. Those cards... Incinerator has certainly been inconsistent at points in the last several leagues and such that I've played, but I still think the overall power and the fact that it really seems to improve certain matchups whenever it comes down, whether it be Dredge, whether it be Humans, whether it be Eldrazi Tron. There's a number of matchups where this card just really shines once you land it. So beyond that, it's basically the same list we've been running, so let's get into the matches. Back for our 4th match with Incinerator Burn. This one's a little wonky. Still think it's fine because we had the Rippled on one. But, Death Shadow. Alright. Swizzle Spear's a nice draw. Well, once again, I'll always stress that the best part of Burn is a 1-drop creature, usually. So our opponent going to have a Fatal Push here. So the answer is Fatal Push or Bolt. Just fine, right? Are you Jund or are you... No, you're Grixis. Okay. Let's say... Looks like they have Angler in hand. I'm not sure why they didn't play it. Option 8. Fetch. Get a basic swamp. Push the Eidolon. Go to 5. and then die next turn. Most likely, unless you have another blue source, which typically be painful. Sure. Thieves Guild Enforcer. Interesting card. Alright. Death's Shadow, huh? Interesting one, interesting one. Thieves Guild Enforcer kind of gives me some pause as to how I'm supposed to sideboard here. Definitely want some number of paths. Certain Blaze can likely come out here. Is this a Clothis matchup? Maybe? Aura's Charms may come out. Not quite sure. Alright, this hand does have the third land problem, which draw one more land, generally you lose. And it is heavily creature based, so depends on how things go for them. Obviously, their best draw that last game would have been a quick Gurmag Angler, which they were certainly set up to do. Interesting. Alright, so we're getting Thought Seized. Probably take Eidolon, or maybe a Swift Bolt. Yep. Sleep Brutality would be brutal, no pun intended, but c'est la vie. No Brutality. Okay. This is kind of a mistake, but I'm going to fetch the green mana anyway, just so we're not, like, caught with a weird situation here. I really just didn't want to get hit by... Okay, fatal. Thieves Guild Enforcer. Okay. So it's a 1/1. Don't know what it even does here. We'll go on to 10 here. block. That was wrong. I needed to play, needed to play Inspiring Vantage there. Okay, so 2 cards in hand. Do you have a stubborn now? Okay, you do. Alright. Awkward draw, yay! Sure. Target themselves, they have a fetch land. Okay. Huh, that's all it took. Alright, nice. Nice. Alright, on to the next match. Back for our 5th match with... Yikes. Stripes. Fruit stripes. Yeah, I think we keep this hand. Don't think we play Seal of Fire on 1. I think we play Goblin Guide on 1 and then Seal, and can always... So for a turn 3 Incinerator. So. And while Goblin Guy could be chunking their life total. So I did make a small adjustment to the sideboard. I removed the core Firewalkers and a Path to Exile for two copies of Surgical Extraction and the 3rd Clothis. A lot of that is based on Poseidon's latest version he posted in the Burn Discord, and a little bit on the fact that Clothis just owned Mono Red Prowess a couple matches ago. So that's a matchup in the past that I've had a significant amount of issues with, and I think I'm happy to find a card that can kind of hose the Bedlam Reveler plan, as well as kind of serve as a buffer life total wise besides Core Firewalker. Like, don't get me wrong, I like Core Firewalker as a card in the mirrors, but I think it's a lot better when you're not having to fetch double white. And this hand sets up for a fairly decent Chandra's Incinerator on turn 3, depending on obviously what our opponent's doing. Silent clearing, so perhaps a humans deck. Humans. Alright, this is going to be a tricky game. Sure. Okay. Same matchup. I would definitely like to have had a sideboard with the 2 copies of Grim Lavamancer, but do what we can, right? Just to take a Boros Charm here. Possibly set up for dealing with Chandra's Incinerator. Swift Spear complicates things. Obviously, if they have Reflector Mage, we're in a world of trouble. If they don't, go ahead. Okay, so you're not Reflector Maging me. That's at least nice. Sure. So most likely Athalia's Lieutenant. Handling Mage, naming what? Lightning Bolt. So we're at Humans is a fair test, I suppose. Nothing like a difficult matchup to knock you off your high horse a little bit. Alright, so crack this, try to find a land, or non-land, I mean. Would love burn spell here. Alright. Line up your blockers, friend. Fair enough. Last turn. Opponent may have turned the corner here. Maybe I wasn't supposed to throw an Incinerator there for just to get their champion off the battlefield. This General's Enforcer, or is this Great Self Rebidder? Sure. Nothing here. If I had a spell, I would have played it last turn, friendo. Alright, General. General would be a nuisance. No pun intended. Nope. Yes, Rider. Okay. No blocks. Yeah, probably got the crackle thing at the end of the turn. It's kind of annoying. Thought you would be bad here. Meddling Mage could be annoying. Meddling Mage is actually very annoying here because they get to name Rift Bolt. Sure. Must be nice to have it all. Okie dokie. Guess it really didn't matter in the end. These guys. Don't think this is a Clothis matchup. I think this is Boros Charm and Eidolon out. Skullcracks and Paths in. Do I bring in one Boros Charm, one Clothis, or one D-Rev? Guess we bring one Boros Charm back in. Turn to Incinerator. Hope that's good enough. I might have to take a minute here. So far we played against what? Gabos, Crabvine, something in Death Shadow. Oh, Prowess in Death Shadow. Have not run across any Control yet, although I think Control is more usually reserved for the grinders more than anything. So turn to Incinerator. Hope it's good enough. Like, they would have had the Reflector Mage anyway, and we were not drawing spells to speak of, so it's kind of frustrating, but at the same time, might have had the necessary result, or would have had probably the same result anyway, except their champion would have grown even larger quicker. So, I'm not sure in the end, just the lack of spells we drew would have made a difference one way or the other. Humans in general has been a bad matchup overall. I don't know how much Incinerator actually swings that in our favor one way or the other. I mean, don't get me wrong, Incinerator is an incredible card and probably is one of our better cards in the matchup, but it's still, you know, doesn't match up particularly well against Reflector Mage. Or even, to a certain extent, Phantasmal Image. Alright, that's a magical card. And I think I am going to cast Skewer the Critics anyway. Incinerator, go. Indeed. Flood. Oh, Manatraders. Come on, friend. You find out who your friends are. Na, 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 na. Curious what kind of hand they kept. Champion? Noble. Okay. Like I could have pathed there, but sure. Feels like Reflector Mage. Indeed. Could you possibly have here? Let's save your dude. Okay. It's mildly annoying. Alright. GG. Clock sped up. This was a good draw. I'm still not sure what we're supposed to bring in here. Let's keep. This is one of those hands that if they mulligan, I'm going to keep. If they keep, I'm probably going to mulligan. It's one of those, like, we hit a land drop in our first 2 lands. It's very, very good. But if we don't, this hand's really, really awkward. So on the draw, I'm much more likely to keep this hand. And Sneeper Keeper. Sneeper Keeper, clinch your buck cheeks and pray, pretty much. I think we're bolting the bird. Alright, I mean... Okay, and they have a 2-lander. It's unfortunate. Yep. That's an awkward hand. Guess we're gonna need to get a little bit lucky here anyway, so I may as well just unload part of my hand. Come on, friendo. When you find out who your friends are. When you find out who your friends are. Kind of wondering, wonder when I play, really want to cast my cards. Kind of unfortunate to win this one by timeout, but at this point I will take the victory, however it is necessary. Still think bolting the dork was correct. Has lost connection. Okay. Do they come back before they time out? Kind of unfortunate, because this was actually a really fun set of games. I don't think, even from this point, I'm not entirely sure we're favored. Depends on what their follow-ups are. Alright, so they're back. That's going to gain some life. Oh yeah, okay. Here comes Thalia Claws. Yep. Sure. Trigger. Thalia's Lieutenant. Feels kind of cheesy, but Sure. Pass turn. Sure. And GG's. Wow, that was an intensive game. That was an intensive game. We are back for match number 7, 6 with Burn. It all kind of adds up together. We're on the draw. This hand's reasonable. Once again, not great. Alright, so sure. We'll just grab this, suspend Riftbolt, pass. Probably plan on killing the Hexy with it here. Okay, so rocking in, Reba bop ram, bop 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 ram. That's a pretty good one. Trier. Ah, Bobby's being Have. That's not nice, Bobby. Okay, that takes a second Eidolon. Why wouldn't you Fatal Push first? Hit you with a spike. Hit you with a spike. Okay. Sure. 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 Four. One. Pass turn. And trigger. Ah. Bobby's being good. Okay. I wouldn't do that before damage. Yeah, whatevs. Guess if you have main deck, other the storm I lose. Alright. So the rock says, dum 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 dum, and the rock says, boom 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 boom. Now let me tell you what the rock says. Okay, these guys. Some number of these guys. Alright, MTG Goldfish. Dark Confidant. Boom, ba ba bum, ba ba bum, ba ba bum. Fairly safely say that they are definitely the rock. Zach Andrew. Okay. Sexy Hexy, Grim Flare, Scavenging Ooze, Tarmogoyf, Liliana, some Collected Bees, and what do we want to do about Incinerator this game? Do I just board out the entire Incinerator package? Do that, do that. Click submit. Like, obviously they have Goifs and whatnots. No Clothis, but I think this hand's perfectly reasonable. Obviously an Inquisition here would be kind of suck, but, you know, it's what I have. Yep, probably gotta take Swift Spear. Take Lightning Bolt. Interesting. Trapaglyphin. Sure. That explains the tick of bolt. It's going to take the basic mountain here. No need to reveal that we have a haymaker like Clothis in our deck. What am I pitching here? If they have Lily. Dang, Confidant, sure. Do they trade off Dark Confidant is the question mark. Assassin's Trophy. Okay, Pawn Strong and Assassin's Trophy. Don't want to expose our green source here if we can help it. Okay, we still have another hand. That's unfortunate, but is what it is. And the rock says, dun, 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 dun. And the rock says, come on, Clothis. Let's do with an Ashashin Trophy. One unknown. Okay. Obviously something like QB would be problematic, but we know this is dying. It's just a question of how. It's definitely not going to want that Dark Confidant. Where are they? Lava Spike. Lava Spike does whatever a Lava Spike does. So they're actually going to keep dang Confidant. Alright. I'm going to go ahead and fetch one of the Sacred Foundries up. Still holding up the, I think we keep that in our hand as Liliana insurance, so to speak. Okay. Sure. Yep. And this Overgun Troom Assassin's Trophy, 1 unknown. This. Pretty sure we're still dead. Unless they left a land on top of their deck, they're good, right? Alright, that's kind of unfortunate. Close, but so far away. Alright. Try like that. Yes, I'd like to play first. This hand is decent. Got a 7-card burn hand. Be a 7-card. Whatchamacallit hand? Guess we'll find out. Alright, I mean, gives away a little bit of information, but, you know, is what it is. It's gonna be a rough turn, too. Okay. Yep. Presume that kills with a spear here. QB, alright. Go to 17. Take a burn spell. Collective Brutality would be kind of rough. Definitely another brutality. Yep. All right. Sure. Nice. It's a close matchup, but nice. Back for the wrap up with matches 4, 5, and 6 against Grixis Shadow, Humans, and Rock. This configuration felt pretty good in those matchups. I think most of those matchups are historically pretty close, with Rock maybe with us being a slight dog to Rock and Humans. Incinerator really showed up big in the Humans matchup, once again kind of showing the power of a card that like overpowers a lot of Dex 8 cards, whether it be Core Firewalker, whether it be Oriok Champion, just being able to literally trample over and annihilate the board if you untap with it. I continue to be impressed with this card in basically every matchup that isn't Control. I think prior to reading Poseidon's latest kind of chat about how he actually boards out Incinerator in the Control matchups, which I think makes sense when you have, you know, a bunch of cards like Clothis and Surgicals and Skullcracks to bring in against the Snow decks. Boarding out the Seals and the Chandra's Incinerators feels nice. But, yeah, we did pretty solid overall that 3-game set. You know, set us up 6-1. You know, if we win one more of our next 3 matches, we get to go. We don't have to play anymore. We'll be win 7 of our first 10 matches and get to qualify for the Manatraders series this month. So, here's to hoping that goes well. And I'll be back tomorrow with the conclusion of the first 10 matches. So, hopefully that will go well. But for now, this deck performed fairly well today, and I'm pretty happy with it overall. So, they're getting closer and closer to registering something similar to this for the standard open, whatever the heck they call it, open challenge, open qualifier. Anyways, let's see you in the next video.